What's up, humans? Today on the Windy City Joe's podcast, we have an absolutely incredible talent. You may know him from his time spent drinking Tito's and eating Reese's, his alleged hatred for men that fly in suits, and finally, his Guinness Book of World Records record, which is most sparklers lit at one time.
He also sings some great country music, just released an amazing EP called Higher Education, and he's nice enough to give us his time while he's here at Joe's on Weed Street for his Just the Way I Am tour, the one and only Michael Ray. Welcome back to Chicago.
That is the best introduction I've ever had, ever.
Well, okay, so I want to start off. What did men in suits that fly do to you?
Man, well, I think I do it to myself. They're just easy to blame. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've never been the guy. I think too, also, we fly obviously more than the average, everyday flyer. So I think you cut it shorter when you're flying all the time. So I'm not the guy showing up on the proper time. So I'm the guy last minute, and there's always that dude in the suit that's like got the tie and the vest and the belt and the laptop. And does my iPad need to be out of here too? And I'm like, bro, we need to speed this up, dude. We're about to miss a flight. So that's all. I think I don't see, change when you get there. You know what I mean? Let's speed the security process up.
Are they worse though than when the plane lands and the people just shoot up?
Oh yeah, they're equal in my book. I think. Yeah, there's a special place for them.
They're both going to hell.
Yeah, no,
they're both going to hell. Someone needs some repentance.
Right.
I definitely agree with you. I've been in so many situations where I'm like, how's that comfortable, especially when you're flying cross country?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, here's a question me and my band have. Is there a moment where you hit an age where you get up early to look good? You know what I mean? Like constantly, like, you know what I mean? You see the older people. It's always older people. It's older men or women the women are done up, the men are done up, and they're just flying.
Yeah.
Right.
I literally roll out of bed and put slides on. Brush teeth, maybe. I don't know. With the mask, probably not. But now, so we saw a guy the other day. It was like a 5:00 flight, and this guy looked like he was getting ready. He was ready for a whole dinner, and I'm like, that guy. Is there an age you hit, or?
Well, I think.
Were you born with that responsibility?
I think it's like back in the day, at least. When I was doing like CPA conferences, stuff like this, like there were a couple older gentlemen that would be like, we saw you fly in and set up in a tank top and shorts. They're like, back in my day, they used to like dress up and like, because taking a flight was a big thing.
Okay, that makes sense. It was like a generational thing.
Yeah.
We're just lazy, is what we are.
I don't want to tie my shoes.
Yeah. I'm the guy that's like, all right, I could go home and go to bed and get some sleep before the flight, or I could pre-pack, sleep in when I'm flying in, and go out tonight.
Yeah. That's exactly what I do.
So I do have some bad news that you may or may not know about your world record. Do you know that it's been broken you took it from Japan?
Yeah,
they won it back. So now your plaque is just like an oversized coffee coaster.
Oh, looks like World War II's coming back. I didn't know they took it back. What's the number? Do you know the number?
Yes, I do. 1,713.
Oh, they did good. I think we were only like 1,100, weren't we?
I think you said like 600 in an interview, but I could be wrong. I mean,
maybe, I thought they had 600 the last time.
I don't know, but I mean,
well, I still have it, so it still kind of counts, right? I mean, it doesn't count current.
Right.
It's
you
past
have the
tense.
U.S. record.
Yeah.
I hold the U.S. record. There you go. That's what matters anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't your first time in Chicago, but we found out that you were a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, on the paper it says, "Dude, why the hell are you a Cubs fan?" I'm a Cardinals fan, and you're from Eustis, Florida. So why the Cubs?
WGN.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man.
Really?
When I was growing up, there was two teams that you watched. It was either Braves, that was on TBS, I guess, or whatever channel that was, and then Turner.
Okay.
And then the Braves or the Cubs were on WGN.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable, so it was WGN, and I was a kid that loved baseball. I was your, typical boy that played baseball from coach pitch on, T-ball on. So, and I just fell in love with the Cubs. And then, when you go on radio tour, you start seeing other cities that you've never been to. And I just I love cities that are passionate about where they're from. There's just something electric about it, whether it's their sports, their food, whatever. And Chicago has like a little bit of it all. It's like their music, their sports, their food, everything. They're like passionate about it. And I just love the energy when we're here.
So me being a Cardinals fan, I literally live 5-minute walk from Wrigley. So whenever there's a Cubs Cardinals game, I'll go out on the porch decked out in Cardinals gear. People would just talk shit to me all the whole fucking
That's the
time.
best part about sports is the shit talking,
Yes, for sure. But it was also funny. Before they had Rizzo, Bryant, Baez.
Oh yeah.
And like ticket prices to park were like $100 a car.
Yeah.
They traded them. The next week it was like $20 to park. It was just like, oh, the Cubs are back.
Yeah. All right, we're back. We're good. We're good.
And I was raised Cubby Blue, so
Yeah.
that's how. I mean, every time we go to a game, like every time he texts me that he's at a Cubs game, I'm like, why are you at a Cubs
Why are
game? Like,
you
get
there?
out of our
Yeah.
get out of our stadium.
I mean, beer, ballpark hot dog, you can't beat it. Same
Can't,
with
man.
beer, so.
There's something special
Yeah,
about
I
them.
know. It's like if someone offered you a hot dog anywhere else, you'd be like, I'm good. But
Yeah.
then you're at a ballpark and you're
I
like,
I never want a hot dog anywhere until I step into Wrigley, and then I want to. Yeah.
Right. So another question for you. On July 23rd, you posted on Instagram you were using a flamethrower. Do you
Oh, yeah.
tour with it? Can we use it? Like, tell us
I
about
wish,
that.
man. I have my crossbow in there. We could block off a street if we want to, but I don't have my flamethrower on me. No, that was actually a buddy of mine. So I'm friends with a lot of our military guys, and so we were at a facility where they train them, and they were kind enough to let me shoot a couple things. And they're like, "You want to shoot a flamethrower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I want to shoot a flamethrower." Yeah. And they had this cardboard box. They like drew like a terrorist looking guy on it. It was awesome.
You didn't want to do the where they put you in the full padded suit and the canines come after you?
Oh, I got a video of it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did do that.
Oh yeah, man, it bruised the hell out of my arm. I'll show you afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so I was in the service and I would just watch people go through that. I watched people get tased.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they wanted to put themselves through those moments.
So my buddy was like, "You don't put the suit on?" I said, "Yeah." So I put the suit on. This dog, they train their dogs there as well, and this dog who'd been great the whole time, like chilled, went through the course, showed us the course right by his side. The second I put the suit on, this dog wanted to kill me. I mean, the second it was like, she was like, yeah, I'm just foaming.
Yeah.
I was like, "Why is she looking at me like that, man?" Like, I said, yeah, this ain't gonna hurt. And so I put the suit on there. My videographer over here, Garrett, he was filming, and I thought I looked way cooler and was moving way faster, but in the suit, you just like the Michelin man trying to run, you know?
Yeah.
And here comes this German Shepherd, and she just launched, dude. Grabbed me right by the
They
arm.
literally fly.
It's
Like,
unbelievable,
it's
man.
crazy how fast and like how long they jump for when they fucking.
I texted all my buddies who I think have a criminal future, and I'm like, "Listen, if they go to get the dog, y'all turn yourself in." Yeah, you know?
you're like, that's when you give up.
Yeah, I
Like,
called some of my
anything
redneck
else-
buddies back home. I was like, "Listen, if you're hunting illegally, man, just sit where you at. Do not let that dog come after you."
All right, so I have a question. So there's an interview. You said your favorite hobbies are working out
Mm,
and going out on the boat and drinking Tito's.
yeah.
Is your boat? Would you prefer a ocean Tito's boat environment or like a lake house Tito's boat environment?
I think a lake, man. I grew up on a lake. Yeah, I grew up. The county where I'm from is called Lake County. There's lakes everywhere, so I grew up more on that side of things. Great thing about Florida, where I grew up at it, you were an hour from Daytona, so you weren't far from like the beach if you wanted to. And a lake literally is there's lakes everywhere. So I grew up more of that speed. Plus, like what I love about Florida, especially now, like living away for so long, all my family still lives there. My sisters, my mom, my dad, step parents, everybody. And so what I love whenever we get to go back is those lakes connect through these canals, and these canals have like the trees over it, the moss, you know what I mean? Like there'll be the cranes, and you probably see a gator. It's just, and you idle through those areas, so it's it's everybody's waving, everybody, hey, how you doing? And there's like these little bars off them that you could pull your boat into. There's people playing music. I don't know. It's just that to me is my favorite part of Florida.
Yeah.
Is that those little canals, man, just so peaceful out there,
Well, I
man.
mean, yeah. When you think of Florida, you don't think of lakes.
No,
So you think of crazy people and
you think of crazy people and a mouse. That's
yeah. It's like that's where I always go to it, but it's like a person ate bath salts and just decided to start eating other people, and I was like, oh, Florida.
Well, every time you hear something bad on the news, you're like, please don't. He's like, man from Florida. I'm like, damn it, man, come on, bro.
Of course. Another question for you: is your worst habit still over saying, "Do you know what I mean?" Because he does it all the freaking time. and
Is that you too?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
do
do
it
it.
constantly.
Yeah, so my buddy of mine pointed it out, and now I think it's like you buy a red car, you see a red car. So I feel like I think I'm better at it,
Yeah.
but I'm not completely positive because I try if I catch myself.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm explaining something, I can over talk a lot. And so when I'm over talking, I'm trying to stumble. I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then then my buddy's like, are you do you just not have confidence? And I'm like, no, I have confidence. I just don't know what I'm saying.
Well, he'll like we'll be in the studio hanging, and he'll be like, yeah, like this this homeless guy came up to me and like punched me in the face, and then this girl started barking, and the dog started talking. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I do not.
I have no clue what you mean.
Like, what happened during that?
Well, and I think it again is because I overtalk, so I'm
Yeah.
just like, well, no one's talking, so I guess it's on
Totally.
me.
Totally, yeah. We don't like air. We don't.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, turn your weakness into a strength and just make a song about it. And it could be like just weird or real scenarios where you reference.
and it would know what I mean.
Yeah. And the audience is like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I
it
have
means,
no
but
clue.
it's a great tune.
That's hilarious.
So that was my one suggestion. All right, so let's go to now your career. So you're from Eustis, Florida, and you grew up in a double wide on 10 acres.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a story in there of a fire department buying part of your land, and you pretty much grew up with like a fire department in your backyard.
Yeah, front yard. Yeah. Well, so where I grew up at that time was pretty far out from the station that was stationed to be out there if there was ever an emergency.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was I think it might have been, this was before I came along. I think there was like a trailer fire out there, and it took the fire department a little bit of time to get out there.
Okay.
And so that whole part of the I don't know how long, but my great grandfather came down and bought all of that. So all of us lived. Our pasture bumped up to my uncles, bumped up to my cousins, bumped up to my great grandmothers, like for a couple miles down the road. Yeah. And so my grandfather, who was in the Army, he thought, well, we'll put one out here. So we actually, I think we donated like a couple acres or an acre and put the fire department on there. And it was my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, my cousins, and my dad, and a couple of firefighters that you grew up in our town. Everybody's either related or friends. Yeah, you know what I mean? So a couple other firefighters that were friends of the family. So it's pretty cool. You know, now I've lost my grandparents that were that. So we got these old pictures of, you know, my grandparents. My grandmother was a captain of the fire department, bro.
That's
like,
badass as well.
because she smoked Misty Menthol 120s, carried a 357. It was a head of the fire department down there, so with nails and turquoise rings on every finger like Hank Jr.
Oh my God, she's already more badass than both of us.
Me too. I'm like, people are like, you shooting to be your grandma? I'm like, man, I'd be happy if I'm cool enough as my grandmother, let alone my grandpa.
So did you like grow up with that around? Like, what age was it?
Yeah. So I mean, I remember growing up being at the firehouse all the time. We would go up there. My dad was a paramedic firefighter for multiple years, 20 years, I think. My uncle Terry was a EMT firefighter. It really, really set a path for a lot of my family, honestly, to be in the first responding world. So I grew up in the first responding world. So I'm a big supporter of our first responders and our, you know, men and women. And so he was a firefighter for a long time, then went to be a paramedic. So I remember being down there. You know, there was always their weights in there. We were there our whole lives. So.
Well, what about the food? Because my dad was a firefighter for
always food coming in.
Like, if you're looking for the best food in town, just go to the firehouse.
Always food coming in, dude. Always, especially because it was like you know, pretty much like a family-ran fire department. You know, and it's still there. Now it's a county. Now the county has taken it over, but yeah, the place is still there, man. It's real cool to still see people know stories of my grandfather, my dad, and them that were. You know, that was years ago. So the people that are working there now are people that still talk about my grandpa being there, and they're still age-old stories. So it's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So in growing up, you skipped out on a lot of like high school and grade school dances to play shows at bars.
Yeah.
What was that like? And like, did you have your first beer at 9 or 10?
I had my first beer. It was an ice house. I was getting out of the fridge for my dad. I was probably about middle school age, I guess.
Yeah.
And they had a get together. The UFC mixed martial arts is real big in our family. So like every month, it's like Super Bowl. You know, everybody was either at my dad's house or my uncle Herbie's house or somebody's that were watching the fight. So everybody was over. My dad was like, Ray, go grab me a beer. So I hit it, and I'm seeing everybody, you know, drink, and everybody seems like it tastes great, and they love it, you know. And first off, Ice House is not the first beer to try. So if anything, I'm surprised I'm not sober still from it, honestly. So I was like, you know, the refrigerator door's still open. I was like, I remember just gagging up. I was like, how do y'all drink this stuff? And I remember being a kid watching them after I tried it. I'm like, y'all seem to like, I had this taste like it was like a soda, like it was Coca-Cola. You know, I'm like, as many beers as they were drinking. You know, I'm like, this must be the best tasting stuff and shit in the world, you know? And then somewhere between that and 15, the taste buds changed, you know, and I was like, oh, that do taste pretty good.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I remember my dad just came home from a shift. He was a police officer, and he would keep frozen beer mugs in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
Where else would you keep them if they're frozen?
Yeah. Get them in the stove.
And like he would always come home, pop open a can and pour it, and like I would just be in awe of like how pretty it looked.
Oh yeah, man.
Then he was like, "All right, come take a drink," and yeah, I had the same reaction. I was like,
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
This is disgusting. give me a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm never drinking this again.
Yeah, I remember my first beer was like my parents, like I was like asking them all the time because I saw them drinking it. I was like, I want to drink a beer. And they were like, no. And then they were like, well, we have this O'Doul's from God knows when.
Right.
And like, no, like there's one. It's one O'Doul's. So like someone must have brought it. And
O'Doul.
Yeah, you can have the O'Doul's. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And it was like Easter. And I had it, and I was like, it wasn't worth it. It was.
Yeah,
I was like 11. I was like, I don't.
Why'd you let us do that? It's a horrible idea. There's blood everywhere.
Oh my God, what a scene! What a scene! So, with your career, did you have like a look yourself in the mirror moment, like, all right, this is what I want to do, or was your grandfather's influence so strong, you're like, I'm not doing anything else. Like I'm doing country music. Yeah,
and I think I got very fortunate because that's not the case for a lot of artists that move to Nashville to have that family support like that. You know, I didn't know that until I moved to Nashville and met some artists that became friends with or signed to Warner Music Nashville with, and not the same case at all. So I got very fortunate to have a family that was like very supportive, but very, believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, because when you're growing up, you're trying to figure it out, you're seeing people come on the radio or come on CMT or whatever. And you're just like, damn, dude, they're really good, like this. And so, when you're from a small town, it's like, how do you get from New York to Nashville, let alone Eustis, Florida to Nashville? Like, how do you connect those dots from that double wide trailer to the Opry? You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? And
which you were at last night.
And yeah. Thanks, man. And number 60. And so
that's awesome.
I think that belief in my family really helped me a lot because they were very adamant. My grandfather taught us all how to splice cable, and he was a telephone guy. That's what he learned in the Army, was telephone and repair.
Oh, okay.
And so he did that as a job because, at that time and still this day, it's a solid living. It's a solid trade, and you can do it anywhere. And so he taught us all how to do that. So they were so adamant that I didn't become a cable splicer because that dad was like, dude, you know how to do it. You can do it anytime, but don't. And this is my dad's parenting on it. I said, well, why not? He's like, because you're going to get used to making that money. Because when I got hired, I was topped out right out of high school because they didn't have to send me to school. My grandpa already taught me, So I was playing 4 nights a week, and I was a cable splicer 5 days a week. And so we were out to be in a pit during the day or underneath somebody's house and then go play a bar at night. My dad was like, you need to quit that job, man. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, because your ass is going to buy a boat, and then you're going to have that job to pay for the payment of that damn boat. Then you're going to get a truck, and now you're stuck. Your ass ain't never going to move to Nashville. So I'd have to say, like, their belief really helped solidify and was a good sounding board for when I did move and have those days, where we didn't have any money, bro. We were in a van, and it cost me more to get down to the show than we made, and I didn't have enough money to get us back. And I come from a middle class, hardworking family. They got some, but they don't have enough to, I couldn't lean on them. Even though they would do anything, my dad would sell his house if any of his kids needed it. But so just those moments, it really was good to have that sounding board back home to call home and have somebody just encourage you to, screw this, dude, keep going, man. These hard times are for a purpose.
Well, it also feels like him teaching you all of that, and then your dad's support. Like, I feel like it taught you your work ethic.
Totally,
that,
yeah.
Like, obviously hasn't changed.
No, yeah, and I'm very fortunate to come from a family that was very much like, shit, nothing's given to you. In this country, we have the right, because of our men and women in uniform, we have the pursuit of happiness. That pursuit is a key word there.
Doesn't mean it's given.
Doesn't mean it's given. Yeah. Doesn't mean you have it just because you're born here. You have the pursuit of it. You can make whatever you want. That's how you can. That's why a guy from Eustis can play the Opry 60 times, because of that pursuit word. So I have a family that's very big in that, very big into that work ethic of nobody's going to ever give you shit. You got to go get it. And go aggressively and don't stop. Until you get where you feel. But they were also my grandpa used to, and my dad says it too, when you're climbing the ladder, remember to stop once in a while and just look at the view. Cause before you know it, you went 20 rungs. You might've gone down 5 and gone up 10 and gone down 2, but within time you've hit 20, and that's pretty damn good if you look at where everything, you know. So I think in this day and age where everything's so fast and phones and everything's now, it's good for all of us to do no matter what you're doing in life, you know, whether it's just a hard working job or whatever. Just kind of stop once in a while and realize where it started. Right. You know what I mean? And just take a breath, because I think it's very important. I think a lot of us learned that, at least in my world, from, you know, being locked down like we were, you know, having everything gone. So
God damn, that was insane.
Yeah.
God.
Don't leave your house.
Yeah, because we went from doing stage stuff at Second City to now we do podcasts, because we're like, we can control that. We have
totally, man,
100%,
man,
that,
absolutely. Smart on y'all's part, man.
We try.
Yeah.
We're not smart at all. And so, I mean, figuring out cables and stuff is a whole nother ball game. But
so with your new EP, Higher Education, the song Higher Education, you had Kid Rock on there. What was it like working with him? And can you tell him we said hello? Yeah,
I'll hit him up, man. He's dude, he's one of the best, man. You know, he's my first CD I ever bought with $2 off a random kid on a back of the school bus headed to Eustis Middle School. Was that Kid Rock CD with Ball with the Ball and Only God Knows Why and Cowboy and you know, my name is Kid. Yeah. All that stuff. And so now, you know, my buddy Tim Montana, who's a co-writer on that song with a few other buddies of mine, he's actually the guy that introduced me to Kid Rock, and it's cool to, it's crazy to like have that friendship with him, but it's even crazier to be on stage or to have a song out with him. You know, but that's such a full circle moment of like, you know, dude, you were the first CD I ever bought. You know what I mean? Like, I wore the hell out of that CD because I bought it. You know what I mean? Even though it was a used one from a kid, I wouldn't even know if he was in this room. I don't know if I ever saw the kid again, but he's so talented, man. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's still going strong too.
Oh, dude. Such a beast. My band, we filmed a video for Higher Education. I'll leak a little bit of it out, but it was a live performance with him and Billy Gibbons and Lee and Tim. And so my band was like, bro, he hits those scream notes like perfect every time. And I'm like, well, yeah, dude, he's been doing it for a while. He's been doing that. Yeah, dude.
It's called being professional.
Yeah, he just pops out, dude. I mean, he shows up, dude, like, him and Billy Gibbons just like pop in, like Billy just like glides when he walks, you know, and Bob walks in, Kid Rock walks in, and he's, you know, fedored out, just long hair. And I'm like, sunglasses, a big ass eagle necklace. I'm like, this is sick, dude. Like, this is literally Kid Rock. Yeah. I want to go wrestle somebody or something. Right.
So speaking of your friend Tim Montana,
love him.
So one of our favorite songs by him is Mostly Stoned.
Yeah.
Not for any particular reason.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
For, you know. But is he mostly stoned?
Man, no. I think I might influence him a little bit. But no, he's not. He's not mostly stoned. No.
He's just sometimes
stoned. Yeah.
He's the shit. When are you guys gonna do a song together?
Well, he's on Higher Education with us. Yeah. He's a writer on it. We will, man. We're working on some stuff together. He got me on board with the Velocity family. So we're going to be shooting a lot of hunting shows and a lot of content that we got coming out with Velocity and stuff. So we're excited to get to work together, man. He's one of my best friends in town, man. So
he seems, from like what I've seen, is his energy is just always 125.
From go.
Yes.
From Jump Street.
Like he wakes up and
dude,
he just rises like the Undertaker, and he's like, all right.
Coffee drinks Tim Montana.
That's a good way to put it. So Didn't Know I Was Country was your favorite song that you've written.
Mm-hmm.
As an artist, are you okay with possibly like your favorite song that you've put together being different from like your fan base's favorite song of yours?
My fans' favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, totally. I think, you know, everybody hears songs differently. Everybody has, because, you know, great thing about country music is it's so lyrics, you know, and that's why it's like a universal language, because no matter your sex, gender, skin color, whatever it is, you have feelings and you have a soul and you have a heart and there's emotion, you know, and no matter what you've gone through, good or bad, you have your own path to that. And country music has a song about it all, you know, and so any time, whether it's celebration or loss or you know, whatever that is, there's a true song about it. So I always love hearing fans' opinions on songs or like what is their favorite song, because it's always different, you know, and sometimes it's crazy because we sit for a year or two on this music, making these records and recording songs that might not ever be heard. You know, some songs don't make the record, and you go through it. So you kind of, by the time it comes out, you're kind of used to it. You know, you're like, well, shit, we need to make another one, but nobody else has heard it. And so it's always interesting to go like, I think people will gravitate towards this one. And then sometimes they might throw you for a curveball and be like, man, I didn't see that one, but for the most part, I know my fans and we get to have one-on-one concerts with them, so it's you get to know kind of what they like and what our sound is, and as that evolves and the crowds evolve, it's a cool process, man. But this record was crazy because we didn't play any of these songs live before because we were during COVID, so
don't leave your house.
We had no clue. You know what I mean? Like normally you kind of test some songs out, but it was like, hell, man, Whiskey and Rain. No one had ever heard it before we released it.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of Whiskey and Rain, that's easily my favorite song of yours.
Thank you, man.
Mine is your favorite song. So.
Oh, thanks, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Kiss ass.
See, one of us is right. No, kiss ass.
Just throw me under the bus.
No, I'm just sorry.
Well,
you couldn't get on the same page.
Yeah,
I like whatever you like, whichever one, even if it changes.
Right. Even if it changes, put me on that one.
Yeah, just put me down for that one.
But I have some beef with the Whiskey and Rain music video.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, at the very beginning, you're setting the tone. You're in your car. It's raining. You pull out this goddamn flip phone.
Yeah.
And you look at it all sad, and you close it with dramatic effect, and then you get out of the car. Like, where the hell did that flip phone come from?
Dude, it was Sean Hagwell, man, the director.
For dramatic effect.
I knew. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't. I mean, for me to show my emotion on iPhone, I'd have to throw it down aggressively. No one knows. That's the sad part. These kids now, they don't know the power you feel. Even if it wasn't a bad call, just whap, that flip, that one finger open, shit was cool back then.
It was like the landline, slamming the landline.
Yeah, ding, and the bell still, you slam it so hard the bell ring in it. Yeah. People, so I told Sean, I said, man, really go back and listen and watch a lot of those 90s music videos where they were telling stories. The 90s was such a big time for music videos, and they would be like little movies, And Sean has directed a couple of my videos and a couple other country videos, but he's just an artist, and he's one of those guys that one of those directors, you just kind of go, hey man, here's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
And it's going to be bigger and better than you thought. I promise you. Just let him do his thing with his wife and his crew, and I promise you it's going to be great. So I told him that, and he came back and he's like, dude, here's a filter we're going to use. Here's that. And I got a flip phone. And I swear, dude, I could have given like $1 million away to somebody, and the flip phone would still be what's asked about in that video. Like everybody's like, "Where the hell did you find a flip phone at?" I was like, "Sean, man, I don't know where he did it, but he got it."
Right. Props to him. He would have had to dig that thing out of freaking. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Old T-Mobile.
So, was the bar in the Whiskey and Rain music video? Was that like
Please
a real?
Tell me it's real.
Was it real bar?
So it's getting renovated now. A friend of ours. It's in just north of Nashville, about 40 minutes north of Nashville. And it was an old bar that my team found that was abandoned for years. And then they were like, well, actually, it's perfect timing because we're about to start renovating it. And somebody had bought it. And so we took over. My team, dude, I'm telling you, it was insane. We did the photo shoot the day before. The next day I walked in, and that place looked like that bar. They set all of that up. I mean, the bar obviously was there, and that stuff. But the tables, the neons, the video team, dude, just set it all up. We walked in, I was like, holy shit, man, this thing looks like an actual honky tonk, man. It was cool.
It looks sick as fuck.
I was like
a dive bar that I want to go into.
I was like, I want to drink.
And that's what we were wanting, we're like, really lean into that real feeling. I wanted it to look like a Cheers for somebody,
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It goes hand in hand with Whiskey and Rain. Like, you can't have like some club. Well, I was thinking about Whiskey and Rain.
You just walk into this. Girls on shoulders with sparklers coming out.
Exactly. Like there ain't no rain there.
Yeah, there ain't no rain. But the only thing that's raining is money.
People are getting bottle service. You're like, this doesn't make sense at all.
I'm so confused. You know what I mean? No.
So you're back in Chicago. Is there like a certain favorite thing you like to do here or eat?
Man, obviously we get deep dish here for sure. Anytime we roll through. Right here, what's this place?
You get deep dish from here?
Where's it at? It's next door.
Is it Lou Mount Island? Or
starts with an S, I think.
S.
Or maybe not.
Wow, you're gonna teach us something.
What's over here? There's one of the places over here we normally get it from. Maybe it does start with an S.
Sarpino's came to my head, but I don't even know if that's a pizza place. I might just be.
I know Illuminati's we've had before, but I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. But what's that?
Pequod's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the place. Yeah. And so we get that. I love going down to Wrigleyville area, man. Even if it's just to walk around, dude. I have such a love for this city, man. I got so many great memories watching the Cubs from being a kid to, grown and knowing some of the guys and knowing some of the behind the scenes guys on there. And just the city itself has given me so many great memories and so many great, radio. It's just all over. I just love being here, man. The energy is great.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Last question. Do you have any questions for us?
How did y'all meet? How did this happen?
We met doing improv at Second City in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Level C.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we were like doing shows and stuff, and then pandemic hit, and then started doing the podcast.
Dude, hell yeah. So this started a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hell yeah,
Like,
man.
We got to do something.
Yeah.
We were so bored.
Yeah.
Like, just like, think about like comedy people being like, so crazy almost.
Right.
That they're like, we're sitting still for a year. We're like, I've
Well,
never
and
sat still that long. in
Dude,
my
same,
life.
bro. I've been touring of some sort since I was 17, right? Like on the road, either playing around Florida or on the road. I've been touring of some sort, and for everything, just go, and you're done. And then I remember, dude, being on our bus in Connecticut, March 12th or 11th, whatever day that was, 2020. And I'm watching, I talked to some of my NFL buddies, so, hey man, what's it like over there? Just trying to fill out how it is in other people's worlds,
Yeah.
And then I saw somebody in the country world pull their first tour, and I was like, oh shit. And then literally, dude, that day, it was like we were figuring out how we're getting back home. Then before the show, like majority of the crowd didn't show up. Before the show, they're like, well, this show might not go on. We might have to keep everybody on the bus. Like, it was just like we were in a third world country, man. It was the weirdest thing, dude. And then this was the longest 14 days of our lives.
Yeah, I can imagine being on the road too.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Man, well, welcome back to Chicago.
Thank you, man.
So happy to have you here. Looking forward to the concert tonight. And yeah, dude, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime, man. Whatever I can do with you guys, man.
I was gonna say,
Anytime.
now that like you do love Chicago, like we need to go to a Wrigley game, throw back a couple brewskis.
Hey, I'm down, dude. At any time, bro. Anytime, dude.
Cool.
Anytime.
All right. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Michael Ray. I'm here at Joe's on Weed. Somehow got talked into doing this podcast. I don't know why, but anyway, this is Last Call.
We need to get longer arms.
I've been saying that my entire life. Oh, like T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Sorry,
cheers.
we should have.
Usually it's beer or some sort of drink. Well, if it's last call.
I wanted you ice in the mic.
If it's last call, it should be a drink.
Probably a water if it's the last call.
No. That's after last call.
Right.
So that's all they'll serve you.
So yeah, this is last call. You want to tell the people what it's going to be?
So last call, since if you've never seen a last call before, get some buddies, go to the bar.
And don't leave.
And don't leave until they yell out last call. And for this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about our experience with the guest,
Right.
How we would rate the guest,
Right.
and just
And-
our overall experience with the guest.
Yeah, and the whole night too.
Yeah, because we stay for the concert, we stay for all of that. So
Well, you stayed.
I
worked.
He worked the concert. I stayed for the concert, and I had a great time at the concert.
He did.
I even helped them close.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
I woke up the next day. I was like, "Why am I sore?" It's
Right.
like, just like because I don't work out, and that was that. I did that.
Oh, I forgot to have the notes up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can start if you want.
So.
Oh, we should probably tell them who. Well, they know if they've
Yeah.
seen this.
Well, they saw the introduction to this segment.
Right. Which the whole episode.
Yeah, and the whole episode because this is at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
So they saw it
so-
all.
We got to hang out for Michael Ray for a little bit.
Yeah, he was
which was-
really cool. It was actually what?
Did you see that introduction of us?
I
He
mean,
was forced into it, you know.
he got talked into it. Okay?
Yeah.
And
Like, okay. Thanks, guy.
I enjoyed talking to him the whole time though.
I did too. No, he was really cool.
He's down to earth, very down to earth
was-
guy.
Yeah.
He was very. Are you trying to make him level?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it like yours because yours looks better and mine is just in my face.
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, you just adjust these to
Right.
tilt it.
I do this for a living.
Yeah.
But no, he was cool. He was super. He was really humble, and which was really cool. And it was cool to see someone that was appreciative of like their beginning and realize that they didn't get there alone.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like with most of the people at that level, they are appreciative of their beginning. You do get like the occasional one who's like, fuck the beginning.
I'm better than everyone.
Yeah. Like they get to a level and they just kind of.
Right.
But with Michael Ray, I thought it was really cool how appreciative he was, like you said, and how he just was very down to earth guy. Like he doesn't have a huge head. Like, oh, I'm Michael Ray.
Right.
Like he was like when he came into he like gave me a hug right away. He was like, he's like, hey, nice to meet you, man.
Big bro
like,
hug guy.
Yeah, he was definitely a big bro hug guy. He was really cool.
Especially after a couple of Tito's as the night went on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a good night.
Yeah. During the intro, he's been to Chicago a bunch of times before this.
Yeah.
This was not his first time in Chicago.
Right.
We're very thankful that he decided to sit down with us.
That's true. We probably should have started that off.
Yeah.
I guess we're thankful.
We're super thankful.
I mean, very thankful, but...
Even though he only got talked into doing it.
Yeah, he got forced into it. Someone put a gun to his head or a crossbow because he travels with one like a crazy lunatic.
I know. That's actually part of the episode. So we asked if we could shoot the flamethrower from his...
Yeah, but he doesn't... Like, he's not that cool because he doesn't own one.
He was like, oh, no, that wasn't mine, but we could shoot a crossbow if you want. Like, set up something and shit. I was like, this is Chicago, though. Like,
yeah, everyone has crossbows.
Yeah, everyone does. I just saw a lady walking her dog. She had a crossbow on her back. There's a little tiny dog and a really big crossbow. Like, the crossbow was bigger than the dog.
Have you played Van Helsing?
Like the video game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the guy with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Like the full jacket.
He's like hunts the vampires.
Maybe we'll tell Michael that's who he should be for Halloween.
Yeah, just be like, walk around with your crossbow. Like, another excuse to do that.
Just get a long, what's it called?
Trench coat?
Yeah.
Or like the dusters.
The dusters.
Like
it's always sunny.
Always sunny, yeah.
It's always sunny, yeah, the dusters. Tell him to buy a duster.
You got to get a duster. You got to get...
He'll just walk around with a crossbow.
That would be perfect. And like one of those like an Indiana Jones style hat.
Yeah.
Like a fedora, but...
Yeah. He's a Cubs fan, and like he did. So the audience brought him on for an encore, and the guy came out in a Cubs jersey.
Yeah, took a bunch of pictures on his Instagram.
Oh, and the stupid flag too.
Yeah,
the
there
W.
Was the W flag. People, other people showed up in Cubs jerseys though.
Right.
So they like knew, and actually,
we're
was
in Chicago.
Right. But I'm saying that was cool. Like that, obviously they were here to see Michael Ray. They weren't here to watch the Cubs.
Because
they were like, yeah.
I guess everyone knew that he was a Cubs fan before us.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess his following did.
Yeah.
But
and then after the interview, I drank in the front bar for a little bit.
A little bit.
I drank until the concert. So
we got done recording at like 6 and the concert was at 10.
The concert was at 10?
Anyways, yeah, you were feeling great.
I felt amazing. Not the next day, I did not.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
You know why? I worked all night.
Yeah, I was putting work in too, buddy.
Yeah,
like on those drinks.
I don't think he's gonna make a song. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I don't think that is actually gonna happen.
That sucks.
One
whatever
thing that we did fact check on the episode though was that he
has short-term memory loss.
Does he?
Well, I mean, he forgot where he got his pizza from.
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that.
So we thought it was Lou Malnati's to start. It wasn't, and I said Pequod's
because he said it started with an S.
Yeah, in which like
and we're like,
I still can't think of a Chicago pizza place that starts with an S.
I'm like, if you went to Sbarro, I'm sorry.
That's a place. And then he told us why I said Pequod's, and he said yes, and it wasn't. It was Giordano's. You know why I know that? Because when they all left, there was a Giordano's box with like a slice and a half left. And right then and there, I said, he's a liar.
I think he just forgot. I don't think he was a liar. I'm gonna be really hurt if I find out he was like, I knew exactly where we got the pizza from.
Well, that's why he probably had the S in it because it ends in S.
Giordano's, no,
But so does Pequod's and New Mountain.
But the G is kind of like in
not an S.
Giordano's, no, but like the way. The G
I know
looks,
what you mean. Like it's the font. Yeah. We'll make sure to put one up so people can debate if this G is an S or not. But I'm gonna say no because it's a G.
Right. It definitely, I could see where he was. If you had never been to Giordano's before, and you were like,
for the record, he said they go there all the time when they come into town.
Yeah, maybe we should have rewatched the interview.
So, do you go here all the time? If you can't even think of it, Michael Ray.
I mean, he still doesn't live here. He could just be like, I know what the logo looks like.
People are gonna think I'm like being mean to him.
Yeah, you're like just awful. But we told him,
and there's no reason I should be. But I feel like he's someone I can bullshit with.
Yeah, he was definitely such a cool guy. Like immediately right off the bat, we looked at each other like he is almost like his personality was almost like a mix of like me and you.
Right.
Where he was like, you know what I mean? And also just
he grew up with a just in like a law enforcement pro military family.
Which is like you.
Yeah, me 1,000,000%.
And then, he and I both grew up in Lake County, we found out.
Yep, but different
Lake counties.
We all like lake house environments.
Right. We all love that. We all love Tito's.
We all love ballpark hot dogs.
Ballpark hot dogs is the only type
Beer.
of hot dog.
What? Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. He influences Tim Montana with being... Well, he said Tim Montana's not mostly stoned. He's just sometimes stoned.
And he influences him that way.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And then you actually dominated most of the conversation.
I did.
So you could probably talk better about how.
Sorry.
So how was the interview for you? I'd like to know.
I did. I talked a lot. No, I was excited to talk to him.
I know.
Obviously. Like there were some times watching it back, I was like, Jesus, calm down. And you should have told me to. But no, he was cool. He was, like I told you earlier. So if I had to rate him on the Joe meter, because we're average Joes, so we're 5s, I guess.
Yeah, we're right smack dab in the middle.
Below average Joes, if we're being honest.
We're below average?
Jeez. I mean, are we average?
I'd say we're pretty.
I don't think we're average.
Are we? I would say maybe slightly above average.
Who's like a... All right. Let's talk about this Joe meter.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. We should probably figure out what it means. Like do you want? Is it like golf? Do you want a low score? Is it like bowling? You want a high score?
So, I think you want. Oh, that's a good question. I think you actually want to be in the middle, because people want you to be like, oh, you're normal, like you're an average person.
Joe,
yeah. But you have this success because you like did great things.
Right.
So I would say like a 10 on a Joe meter would be like The Rock or Arnold or
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Right.
Like just like someone who's just like reached this insane amount of fame.
Right.
They drive like crazy cars.
But they could still be like they could still be 5s. I'm just saying
like their personality and like So judging off that, yeah. Because if we're talking about my height, I'm probably a little below average.
I am average.
Right, for height.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. So I'm a little bit below average.
Okay, so Joe meter for Michael Ray. What would a 0 be? Like, I don't want to, just be like, this is the worst human ever.
Yeah, I don't even know how to...
Like an evil Joe.
Yeah, like it's got to be like
20 minutes later.
You know what? We'll discuss like the 0 Joes if we ever hit.
If we ever hit it, we'll just come back to it. We're gonna put a pin in this and we're gonna table it for now. We'll come back to it. I don't think we need to really get into. He wasn't. I don't think so.
Okay.
So where would you rate on a scale from 1 to 10 his performance that night?
Oh.
I would rate it like probably like a 9.
It was probably a 12, and then he came out in the Cubs jersey. Now I was like, oh, this is like a 4.8 now.
Right. I mean, what I remember of it, I can definitely say it's a solid 9.
So their performance matters on the Joe meter. Like we're doing the whole thing on the Joe meter. Or are we doing like the personality?
20 minutes later.
I don't know. The scale doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this is a broken scale. We should discuss this before we start press record.
It's all right. We'll figure it out next
Yeah,
time.
we'll figure it out. So, I would say he was a solid 10 on the Joe.
Yeah, that's
score.
fine.
All right.
Can we take off like a point for the Cubs jersey?
Fine. We will. This is what marriage is, kids. It's compromise.
And I don't like whole numbers.
Okay, so we'll do 9 points.
We'll add 0.2 for his staff being super amazing.
So awesome.
1.1 for the concert being incredible. And -1 because he couldn't think of Giordano's.
So what are we at? Like
9.2.
9.2. Okay.
Hey, we just
All
figured it
right.
out.
Look at that. 9.2.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Me too.
He was a 9.2 Joe. You called
Yeah.
me a kiss ass during the episode too.
I mean, look at the hat you're wearing. It's Michael Ray's like merch table hat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably on his website. You can go find it here.
Yeah, you can probably go find that. Yeah. Wherever we put the link, follow
It could
one
be
of our
here.
fingers.
Oh, it
could be
there.
here. It could be here. It could be right over the hat. Who knows? Stay tuned.
Anyways, they're pretty cool hats.
They are. It's pretty cool. It's got the camo and the logo's all blacked out, and it says Michael Ray on the back. In case you forget what MR means.
Dude couldn't even sign it for you.
I didn't ask him to. I didn't want to seem like
Yeah, I know.
you know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
I feel like that's very.
I'm not a fan of autographs. But I understand why people get them.
Right.
But me personally, I'm not like I'll do it. Like, give me a picture.
Right.
You know.
And it like the merch is like.
But I mean, I guess sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you. But if you're like a big time Mountain Joe, then like a signature is huge.
Right. But I think like just like this is a very clean looking hat. This is a very clean looking merch. And I feel like when I get merch and it's clean looking,
Ooh,
then you can't really enjoy it because you're like, oh, it has a signature on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're more protective
you
over
have
it.
to be like delicate with it.
Yeah, now you're like, okay, it goes on a shelf and it's
Right.
just in the background of like one of our other podcasts.
Right.
So
He should get a +1 for his cool merch.
he's at 10.2.
9.3.
Oh, plus 0.1.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
9.3.
9.3. He did. He had really solid merch.
Yeah.
He was very cool, very thankful to us for some reason that is unknown to us. We don't know why.
A shout out to his opener, Robin Ottolini.
She was
If
great.
I said that right, I think I did. The ending might be more like using your tongue more, or something like Ottolini. I don't know.
Ottolini. She
But
said it
it
just
was
kind of
like-
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
That's what she's.
I'm not wrong, but I'm probably wrong. Like how she said it was perfect, obviously, because it's her name.
Yeah, she knows that shit like the back of her
Anyways,
hand. She knows that
wasn't-
shit like her last name.
she was incredible.
Yeah.
She was awesome. Like she needs to have her own night here. Like she was really good.
Yeah.
So shout out to her.
Well, I think my favorite part of talking to her was she didn't realize that she could swear.
Right.
And at the end, she was like,
She thought-
shit, fuck. Like, she was like,
She thought-
we're like, just
she-
get them all in now.
She thought we were professional.
Yeah, she thought we're like, no, we're just average Joes.
Which, yeah.
What?
I'm just like, well, now I'm just stuck on the Joe meter thing.
You still on the Joe meter?
Yeah.
I was like 2 days ago in my brain.
Anyways, it was an awesome night. Yeah, big old shout out to Michael and his team. The interview was super fun. And it was just an awesome experience hanging out with him and seeing him sing Whiskey on Rain. And live was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where You Kiss His Ass was his favorite song.
Yeah.
So
It is.
mine's yours.
I know, because I couldn't, like, I was like, flustered with the buttons. It was the first time we kind of had to change our setup, and we
Yeah.
were working against the sound checks and all
Right.
that. So, like, that was all overlapping, and I was pushing the buttons and everything, and I'm sitting there, and then when I finally got to bring it up, when you brought up his favorite song, I was like, I went to go say my favorite song is Didn't Know I Was Country, and I said my favorite song is your favorite song. And then you were like, Kiss Ass? And I was like, no. I'm like, then I kind of just leaned into it and I was like, yeah, whatever your favorite song is, even if you change your favorite song, put me down for that one. Just... And then I bought this hat. So maybe I am. I don't know. I had such a good time like
Yeah, me
hanging
too.
with them and stuff that I
Me
was
too.
like,
I hope we get to do something again in the future.
yeah, me too. So go check out his new Higher Education EP. It's on anywhere where you get your music. And follow Michael Ray across the country as he, goes on tour with the Just the Way I Am tour. And check us out at Joe's on Weed Street or sometimes Joe's Live in Rosemont and sometimes Carol's Pub.
Follow us on
literally anywhere.
Yeah, at Windy City Joe's.
That was the other thing I liked that Robin said when we asked where people can follow her. She said everywhere except for home.
True. That was clever.
She was very funny.
That was clever. Yeah. So, follow us. And this was Last Call.
Thanks for watching.
Love, Michael.
And Jackson.
And kiss ass.
Right here.